Hello everyone, Thempyrean here. As you all know, I love Magic the Gathering, and I talk about it all the time. That's why Wizards of the Coast reached out to me through their community representative, Mr. Pink R. Tun, and allowed me to unveil their newest set, Un-iverses Beyond Channel Awesome. It's the first Un-iverses Beyond set that's also an unset. The fine folks at Hasbro's Wizards of the Coast knew that I'm a Channel Awesome expert.
Oh, see, it's okay. It's okay that there was misogyny because then there's comeuppance.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes Doug a little bit woke.
So they just had to get me to do these reveals. I mean, who else is going to get all these references? I'm the only one who remembers them. I remember them, so you don't have to. In this new Un-iverses Beyond set, you'll find all your favorite characters from the classic Channel Awesome anniversary films, plus plenty of other classic references. Even better, all of these cards will also be printed in the beautiful screenshot rare, as pioneered by the card Cruel Tutor. Now you can remember all your favorite moments and characters from the films exactly as they appeared in the films, down to the very last pixel. I'm sure you're all excited, so let's get started with those reveals. To start, we're of course going to show off the star of the show, the Nostalgia Critic himself. Nostalgia Critic Recurring Reviler is a 2-red legendary creature that shows off our new creature type, Critic. The critics of Channel Awesome are not really heroes despite their fights against villains. So while the villain creature type does make a return in this set, it doesn't feel right to just slap hero on the critics. They're better served with this brand new creature type that reflects their cynical nature. The critic's first effect, Reflexive Remarks, reflects the way that the critic, hurts everyone around him with his barbed words and uncaring attitude for the people who work for him, by dealing 1 damage to each creature or planeswalker that enters the battlefield, including your own. The critic's second ability, The Review Must Go On, lets you return the critic to the battlefield from the grave in the end phase if you pay white-black and say the line, one of our new keywords for this set. This keyword plays with the flavor text in the card and the critic's propensity for quotation-based humor by having the player literally say the line in the card's flavor text to activate effects. Isn't that fun? And the critic's flavor text is, of course, I remember it so you don't have to. And he's a 2/2 creature. That matters. Up next, we have a twofer with the Spoony One of Two Minds. This card represents the brief period in time where Spoony and Dr. Insano were one transforming person, because Doug couldn't be bothered to learn the lore of his site contributors before writing them into a movie. Spoony is a 1-blue legendary creature human critic with Defender. His ability, With Science, allows him to transform into Dr. Insano for 2 generic mana, 1 white, 1 black. Insano is a human villain scientist with Death Touch and an exhaust ability where you say the line to create an 8/8 construct creature named Neutro. Make sure you say the right line though, because Spoony's flavor text changes when he transforms. Next we have Linkara, who is rather regrettably here from Kickassia, pretending to be General Patton from the movie Patton. Linkara Student of War is a 2 generic, 1 white, 3/2 legendary creature human critic artificer who gives other creatures you control training and lets you say the line for 2 blue or red to create a 2/2 legendary creature token construct named Poyo, Linkara's faithful companion, which has haste and distributes +1/+1 counters when it deals damage to a player. Linkara's line is of course lifted directly from the movie Patton, as so many lines in these films are. Moving on from the critics, we of course have their villains. Malachite from Suburban Knights makes an appearance as Malachite Tomorrow's Bane, a legendary creature avatar wizard villain that's 4/4 for 2 generic and 2 green. When Malachite enters, he destroys a target artifact from the opponent to bring the legendary artifact Malachite's Glove from the library or grave to the top of the library. Malachite also serves as a perfect counter to critics by removing all flavor text from the opponent's cards, meaning they have no line to say. Lastly, when Malachite attacks, you can exile a target artifact from the grave to give him a +1/+1 counter. Altogether, this makes Malachite a powerful commander, particularly against any critic-themed decks. And his associated glove is a legendary artifact equipment for 2 generic mana. When it comes into play, you can automatically equip it to an avatar you control. The equipped creature gets +8 attack and protection from critics, making Malachite even stronger. If you feel Malachite doesn't need the boost though, you can also pay 3 to equip Malachite's hand to any non-critic. We continue the villains with the ultimate villain, the Executor from To Boldly Flee. No, it's not Palpatine, it's just a bad parody. The Executor is a legendary creature wizard villain for 2 black mana. The Executor has an exhaust ability that lets you pay 3 mana to take control of an opponent's creature, representing the Executor's vast wealth. He also changes their name to Bradican, a nickname they'll definitely enjoy a lot, and you have to call them that. You can also tap the Executor to deal 3 damage with his Force Lightning, because everyone has Force Lightning in these films. Next is a sort of villain from the same film, the Plot Hole itself. It's a legendary enchantment that requires 1 mana of each color. When a critic enters or a Say the Line effect is activated, the Plot Hole accumulates a plot counter. Once you get your counters ready, you can remove them and Say the Line to target creatures equal to the number of counters. You then, and this is really fun, randomly change control of the targeted creatures and the Plot Hole. Become everyone's least favorite person at the commander table with this funny tech. And you can pair it with Mati. Yes, even Mati from Captain Planet is here in this set with the same mana cost as the Plot Hole that he becomes. Because he is Mati from Captain Planet, he's a legendary planeswalker, his spark awoken by hatred for Ted Turner, letting him enter the world of the critics. Mati is a friendly sort and starts with 5 loyalty. His loyalty ability lets him say the line and gain 2 life for each time you said the line this turn, making him synergize well with a critic deck no matter how weirdly racist they are to him. His neutral ability lets you make a 1/1 red monkey legendary creature named Suchi that when it enters the battlefield, you sacrifice it. This is apparently a reference to Captain Planet or something, but I wouldn't know anything about that. I only know about the Channel Awesome films, not all the supplementary material. Finally, Mati's ultimate ability requires 7 loyalty to destroy a target creature with 2 or more types, but not critic, that is equipped and has used its triggered ability since the end of your last turn. That might seem very specific, but it will definitely hit Malachite to help you out that anti-critic tech. And after you do, you can put an enchantment with Say the Line from hand or deck onto the field, like the Plot Hole. Back to villains, we have Mecha Kara, also from To Boldly Flee. This ain't the one from Linkara's actual show. This legendary artifact creature is a robot villain that costs X and 2 generic mana, with its power and toughness being set to the total mana spent to cast it. And when it enters, you can take control of an opponent's creature whose mana value is less than or equal to X. This turns them into a robot villain with haste, as well as giving them Mecha Kara's Enter the Battlefield effect. Though, because they aren't entering the battlefield, it's turned into an activated ability, paying X to take control of a creature with equal or lower mana value. This is a Borg reference, it's just a Borg reference. If the Borg end up having this exact mechanic in the Star Trek set, I'm gonna shit. Moving on from creatures, we have the Critic's House Ship, which is just Doug's house rendered in Blender with some Star Trek pylons slapped on. It's simultaneously a joke and a way to justify the cheap filming location. It's efficient! The House Ship is a 3-mana artifact vehicle with flying and trample. The It's a Distraction ability forces creatures to block House Ship if able, and whenever a creature enters under your control, the House Ship gets a +1/+1 until the end of the turn. It has a crew of 4, but its crew expands by 1 for every 2 critics on the field, because they put so many people in that house to film and they just cannot work together. Next, we have the critic's famous weapon. A gun? It's just a gun. Why does he have a gun? Have we ever talked about why it's part of his brand that he just has a gun? Like, I have a gun, but I don't make it my brand when I talk about Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? What's that? Oh, sorry, I'll get back to the script, Mr. Pink. Sorry, Mr. Pink Arton. Just a gun is, well, it's right there in the name. It's an equipment that gives the equipped creature the ability to tap and do damage. It's lightning, but as an equipment. It wouldn't be Universes Beyond if we didn't make a card with minor adjustment to a card that already exists. Ow, you didn't have to hit me with the stock of your gun, I get it already, jeez. Painfully Long Reference is a 2 black 1 red enchantment that gives all your critics the ability all of your sorceries have rebound, which means all your sorceries will go on and on and on as long as you have a critic on board. Obligatory Cameo is a red black white instant that lets you summon a creature from the deck or sideboard with haste but destroy it at the end of the turn. What an interesting card, don't you agree, Golden Nova?
Yep, it sure is.
Now that's a lot of exciting new cards, but I have one last one I want to show you, a real special one. The review must go on as a 2 generic, 2 red, 2 black enchantment that says when you would lose the game, instead set your life to 1 and send this card to the grave. Then choose 1 critic creature you control and sacrifice the rest. This represents how Doug sacrificed everyone else who worked for his site for his own delusional ambitions of being a filmmaker without telling them, despite quite evidently lacking the ability to competently make a film, despite the fact that he went to film school. What a fun way to stay in the game at your next MTG locals. And there you have it, the new Un-iverses Beyond Channel Awesome. This is only a selection of some of my favorites from the set. There's a lot more for you to discover for yourself in the packs, like Nostalgia Critic Incompetent Dictator, or Nostalgia Critic Skirt Novice, or even Nostalgia Critic Plot Hole Ascended. Look, if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can have 10 cards each, Doug can have 5. Now that I've completed my contractually obligated reveals, you can get hyped for this new product coming to your local soon. You can also go watch Golden Nova's channel where he's showing off the Channel Awesome Commander precons, and I can get this rifle to not be pointed at me anymore. What? No. Look, I'll do the demo reel mini set, but you can't make me do a reveal for Magic the Gathering's Doug Walker's Pink Floyd's The Walls. Oh god, not again. April Fools! I bet you probably figured it out by this point, but this is an April Fool's video. It's just something that me and Golden Nova have been thinking about for about a year at this point, over a year. I was planning on this last year, but I had too much stuff coming up. I was still finishing my master's degree at the time, so there was too much stuff going on for me to actually finish it then. We decided to save it for another year. And then Magic the Gathering kept going downhill like this, so it actually became even more relevant with all these Universes Beyond coming out. And of course, Cruel Tutor. The Avatar: The Last Airbender Cruel Tutor was just perfect for this project. Really gave it an easy excuse to use all of those screenshots. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you'll stick around on the channel because it's a whole lot of stuff happening this month. Maybe not necessarily on this channel, but certainly on my Twitch channel, Vampire Ian, and on other channels as we ramp up my birthday celebration and VTuber anniversary. Both happen the same month. Isn't that crazy? Weird coincidence. I also want to take this moment to make sure that you're subscribed to Batchu's Library, my clips channel, where all the Yu-Gi-Oh! React stuff went. Every reaction to the ban list, and points updates for Genesis, and cards, they're all there now. They take a little longer now, but they're much better to watch because they're actually edited. You can also watch the VODs at Tomb of Vampire Ian. You can watch the podcast, The Kaiju's in the Details, my kaiju podcast with my partner Haru, at Thempod Ian. Vampire Ian's Game Corner will get you all my Let's Plays and new Sleep Aid Let's Plays that are coming out featuring Pokopia. Now that I have that, thank you, my wonderful patrons. Of course, you can go to my Illustrials channel, the Nexus Network that I share with Golden Nova. We're probably going to have another video coming up there soon because Sunstrike is almost fully revealed. And lastly, Yuri Riot, where all the music went. I'm going to have some new releases there soon as well. So if you want to support me in all the various ways, make sure to check down on the homepage where I have all the channels listed. Or you can check out my website, thempireen.neocities.org. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening to this spiel. Alright, see you in the next one. Hey there, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a lot more for you if you want them. Just hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. I'd also appreciate if you left me a like and a comment and maybe shared the video around with your friends. You can also follow me on all the usual social media sites. Just check out my website in the description below for more info. My videos are funded by my patrons, Ko-fi subscribers, and YouTube members, whose names you'll see scrolling by in these credits here. For just $1 a month, you too could find yourself here, trapped in my end screen for all eternity, among other benefits. In particular, I'd like to thank Jeremy Coatney, Frog Prince Michael, Fleakill, Haru Hayes, the Almighty Ferret Lord, Fire Mizumi, Beastman, Bryn, and Beelzis. A big thanks to all my patrons and to my little community as a whole. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful whatever time it is for you. Bye-bye!